What's going on, people? It's your girl Rasati out here in Singapore, and this is the Night Owl Podcast. Thank you so much for joining back in, and I'm hoping that you're enjoying all the content lately. It's been a lot that I uploaded all of a sudden. Yeah, binge uploading so you can binge listen. How about that? Does that sound good? Anyway, so this is the third time I've recorded this podcast episode, and I'm a little upset, but it's okay. I'm gonna go with it. We're gonna roll with this anyway. And what I was trying to tell people was, for those of you who are following me on Instagram, y'all know I use my stories a lot. So it's not like I have 4 or 5 stories every day. I have a lot. I have more like, 15 to 20 maybe, depending on what's going on in my world. So when y'all was going on, I used to post the fact that I was sitting down and watching because, hey, as much as I am a creator, I'm also what is that word I'm looking for? Someone who consumes content as well. So I love watching TV. I love watching all of the episodes here in Singapore. And right now, it's been wild. There's so much going on, especially because all of our artists are trying really hard to create content from home, to be entertaining, to make sure that, we have a break from our days and we can find a little bit of motivation to laugh about something or to come together and try something new, a challenge or something, or maybe a new filter that guesses, which Tamil movie the line is from or what song they're singing. Yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, so recently I posted this quote from Bruce Lee, and let me see if I can bring it up without stopping this whole thing. It says, "You only lie when you're afraid. Start telling people what they need to hear instead of what they want to hear." And I want to talk about that a little bit because guess what? I used to lie like a rug. I used to lie so much, but it didn't start until my world changed and I was suddenly afraid of everything. So let me take you way back, about 40 years. Let me take you all the way back to when I was a little kid. I grew up in my grandmother's house. My mom and dad were out in the UK. My dad was studying at the time. My mom worked at the Singapore High Commission in London. And so I was raised by my grandparents, and my uncles used to come visit me every day. It was like one different uncle at least once a day each week. And so 5 days a week, I had people visiting me, and it was fun. It was cool. I didn't know any better. So this was normal for me. I knew what the rules were in my house in Wampo. I knew what my grandparents expected of me. I knew what the behavior was that was expected of me. I knew where to go if I needed something. I knew who to ask, all that. I knew. I was comfortable. I was home. But when I turned 5, I had to move out to London to be with my parents, and I had to take my little brother with me. So it was me and my little brother. We moved out to London. My grandparents came with us, obviously, and they stayed for a couple months, and then they left. But the difficulty for me was suddenly I was in a new country with a lot of new faces. And yeah, I knew my mom and dad, obviously, but suddenly I didn't know what they expected of me because my rules that I was used to were not the rules my mom and dad were using to raise me either. So suddenly I was afraid of getting my ass whooped, so I started lying. And I would tell them whatever I thought would get me out of trouble because I didn't want to tell them what I had done in case I got in trouble, obviously. It would be stuff like, I don't even know. I was 5, I don't remember. But it was dumb stuff that I would lie about all the time. And it got to a point where I would just lie all the time, mostly because the majority of the time I would get away with it, and then only once in a while I would get caught. So I thought, okay, my chances of getting away with the lie were so much better than they were of telling the truth, so I'm just going to go with the lie. That's how behaviors are reinforced, unfortunately, reward and punishment method. Anyway, so this was the beginning of trouble, and I started lying a lot, and I didn't know how to stop, and most of the time it was because I just didn't want to get in trouble. I'm the oldest, right? And no matter what I do, I should know better, and Anyway, the standards were unrelenting, and there was not a lot of margin for error, and it was tough. So I just stuck to what I knew. I stuck to lying, unfortunately. But it got to a point where my mom couldn't trust me for anything I said, and she used to start doubting me before I even opened my mouth. Eventually, I learned not to lie to my mother, and I learned what the rules were and what to expect, and it got a little bit better. But that didn't mean that the lying stopped completely. It moved to a different area of my life. It would be stuff where I would say something or do something wrong in a social setting, and my friends would call me out on something, and I would lie and then get found out and just look stupid as well. And it continues. It continues sometimes even, when I was married, I would say something that I didn't want to get found out about. Not that I did anything bad, but I was afraid of what the person would think of or how they would judge me. So I would lie. And it's very, very true. What is the worst that can happen when you tell the truth? Now, obviously, if you did something really wrong, let's go extreme, shall we? I've been lied to about being cheated on a lot. Both the people that I was with cheated on me. And when I asked them about the proof that I had found, they would find a way to say it wasn't them and I was being overly critical and I was just hunting for clues where there were none, and I was finding stuff and I was planting stuff, apparently, like all kinds of stuff. But the point is, what would be the worst thing that would happen if they had told me the truth? Yes, I cheated on you. Well, then the next question would be why? I hope. I'm hoping I wouldn't like lash out and like beat the hell out of them or try. But the point being, if they were to tell me the truth, the next question should be why. But that's not what we want to do. We don't want to know why. We want to know that you did something wrong so I can hold it over your head. A lot of times we want to catch someone in a lie because we want them to be wrong, so that they owe us one, that we prove that we're better than them somehow. And that's actually quite egotistical. I've had several clients of mine come to me and they're like, there was an incident once in the past where there was a breach of trust, and now she doesn't trust me for anything. And no matter what I do, I can't get the trust back. And I keep asking the other party, the one who was cheated on, well, do you want to be a part of this relationship or not? Because if you don't want to be, this is where the conversation ends. You can walk away free and clear, no problems. But a lot of times they don't want to let the conversation end either. They don't want the relationship to end. They want to find a way forward, but they don't know how. Why? Because deep down, everyone knows that once you ask questions about why someone stepped outside of a relationship to get what they needed, instead of asking the person they were in a relationship with, you're going to get some really deep, dark, difficult answers. Sometimes you're going to get answers like, oh, you won't do this, and I really need this, and it's very, very important to me, and since you don't do it, I'm going to get it from somewhere else. A lot of times what I have to break it down for my clients as is, you need to figure out what language you're speaking to each other. It comes down to your 5 love languages, honestly. There's another aspect of that as well, and it's something Tony Robbins teaches, which is the 6 human needs. Once you figure out how your person loves to show love and how they like to receive love, then it's a matter of, okay, what makes them feel important? How important are these things? What is the most important thing to them? Because if I like giving presents and you would rather have words of affirmation, we're going to miss each other at some point. You know what I mean? No matter how many gifts I give you, you don't hear the validation that you need out of, spoken word, then you're going to think that I don't care about you. And chances are you're going to tell me, I need this, I need this, I need this. And I'm not going to hear that. I'm going to show you how I like to show you, and we're still going to miss each other. So a lot of times people will lie. No, nothing's bothering me. No, I'm not mad. No, this doesn't matter. Damn right it matters. But if you don't own up to it and say exactly what's on your mind, there's no room for improvement either. Let's take it to a different situation where it's not romantic. Let's talk about parents and kids. Okay? Me being a parent, I'm going to ask my daughter if she liked something. And a lot of times she'll tell me that she likes my cooking, when sometimes she really doesn't. Maybe it's a new recipe I tried and she actually doesn't like the way it tasted. And honestly speaking, if she would be bold enough to tell me what she doesn't like about it, I could probably fix it. But what she'll do is, that's good. And I'll ask her, well, do you want some more? She'll be like, nah, it's okay, I'm good. So then I already know she really didn't like it. Because I know this. She's done this several times before. I know that she loves something when I ask her, hey, taste this. And she says, it's good. And I'm like, do you want some more? Oh my God, yes. Can I have some more? Or she won't even wait for me to ask her. She's going to jump to the bowl or the pot or whatever and try and get some more herself. But the point being that if she were honest about what she felt in those moments where she's trying to save my feelings, I could make it better. I could improve. There would be room for improvement. But because she says, no, it's okay, I don't want any more, it kind of closes the conversation. I can't improve on that situation any further. So I'm hoping this makes sense to you. You need to realize when you lie or when someone's lying to you. Somewhere in their mind, they're thinking that they're saving you from something, or they're trying to avoid some kind of pain. They don't want you to feel hurt or disappointed, or they're trying to avoid punishment of some sort. So if you can get to the bottom of why they're lying, a lot of times you open yourself up to a situation where you can improve the relationship, improve the communication, improve the way you relate to each other, so that you can have a more solid foundation for a friendship, a love relationship, a parent-child relationship, a colleague, co-worker relationship, whatever the case may be. The only way to making things stronger, friendships stronger, relationships stronger, is to make sure that you're both speaking the same language, to make sure that whatever you say is being understood by the other person and not falling on deaf ears. And the only way for that is for you guys to be honest. So I want you to think about that. I'm hoping this made sense, you guys. You got any questions, comments, concerns, please drop them in the comments below. And as always, there will be more episodes to come. I love you guys. Take care. Bye.